Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a video I made recently, an animation which involves a lot of character animator. I thought it might be interesting to kind of show a little bit behind the scenes, if you want to call it that. Yeah, let's look into it. What we try to do is come up with an animated alternative to our regular corporate video. In this case, it's actually about recruiting. I couldn't make this kind of video without character animator because I wanted to look like it's traditional animation mostly. And if I would do this traditionally, actually, I would still be working on it and still would be for a while, I think. Right out of the box, this software is a digital puppetry toolbox. It doesn't look very traditional, the animation that is in it. So my goal is always and will always be to use it so it still looks kind of hand animated. And actually a good example, which was really inspiring to me in the past, was our cartoon president. And they only could do this because of character animator. That was kind of impressive to me, and I think if you really want to know what my work is about with character animator, that is basically it. Like, you combine a lot of traditional hand animation with everything that character animator gives you to actually pull something off on your own. It is kind of still a lot of work, but it makes it possible. So maybe that's the point. I'm actually planning on doing a full workflow tutorial regarding my style and my kind of animation pipeline.
Inmitten der Hamburger Hafencity befinden sich die hochmodernen Büroräume der Sprenger und Flachsteuerberater. In unserer 4000 Quadratmeter Teppichetage töten wir jeden noch so...
So these first shots actually took a lot of work. I don't know if I will continue doing them like that. It was a lot of fun. This was all made in Blender. I actually really love this kind of work, creating my backgrounds in 3D, but it's kind of overkill. The advantage I had here, which was happening because in the actual animatic, in the storyboard I made, I just had one shot, and in the end, when I was editing it, I found out, okay, it's like a 15-second shot and nothing is happening. Of course, in this video, we're kind of celebrating the boredom of this kind of videos, how they're sometimes usually made, but it was too much. Because I made it in 3D, I was able to quickly go back into Blender, create a couple of more shots, and now it's way more interesting than it is in the animatic. This is the first character we see here. I will talk a little bit about the script writing later. This is kind of the main character, and I think the advantage of this is, in the character animator world, every puppet you create, like this one, you can reuse it over and over and over for other videos, or maybe at some point in the future you want to do a live stream. You can most likely use this puppet just as it is, or maybe with some minor modifications. And what I also said in another video before is I try to keep the frame rate down. Most of the time it's 12 frames, but if you look at the hand animations, it's down to 3 frames per second.
Mal ehrlich.
Ja, muss halt so. Go big or go home.
This microphone you see here is actually also made in 3D, which is definitely, absolutely not necessary.
Natürliches Gespräch am Kaffee-Vollautomaten.
This scene here, it's my favorite scene. I mean, it's just 2 scenes, but it's my favorite scene of the whole thing because I like the writing of it. I like this, when this guy gets up the handwritten note. It's kind of the opposite of what you want to represent your company. You can see it's this kind of like a very costly approach to making everything authentic, and having like a director who doesn't know what he's doing and having the people in front of the camera not being comfortable. It's basically the point we are making here, because that causes this whole thing not to be believable, not to be authentic, just to be like it's basically a shit show. And that's what we're making fun of here. And I think in this scene it's becoming very clear and obvious.
Ne?
And this is actually the second character here on the right, Vivian, and you can download it in the description. It's a free character I uploaded for everyone to use and try around with. She can turn around. I don't know if she can walk. I forgot about it. You should just check it out. Let's see if she walks. I don't think so. What I do a lot, like you see here, all the characters look into different directions, and they are able to turn around and look into the other directions. What I don't like about it is just snapping it to the other direction, because there's no feet movement involved. So that is something that will give away basically the character animator behind all of this. So what I do, and what is also part of the Vivian character, is that I move the feet a little bit. I cheat it a little bit, some steps in there, so it actually looks like they are using their feet to turn around. This is the greatest part, and it's also my favorite character of all of it. Clearly some major influence from BoJack Horseman here. I like this guy, I like the scene, I like this weirdness, and also I think the walking cycle, which is generated with Character Animator here, it works pretty well. It looks kind of stupid, which I was aiming for. It kind of finally messes everything up. So this guy now, he thinks it's his last chance before they wrap everything up to make this whole thing right. And this was kind of the idea behind it, that he now off camera says all the things that are actually important to the company that should be in the movie, which are now in the video, which was kind of the idea behind it. I have these animations I always do with the hands, with the hand gestures. But then I thought, when we were watching it, we thought, okay, still a little bit, it's not enough movement, it's not enough activity there. Here I actually put draggers on the actual cycled animation in Character Animator and recorded a replay of the hand moving up and down while it's up, and created a trigger out of that. So you can see here that even when the hand is up, it's not standing still, it's moving up and down, which gives it a little bit more life. In the first version, he was not moving very enthusiastically, and we thought, okay, we have to get back in and change the whole performance, which is actually possible. So it makes it way easier to change something last minute, because the puppet is there and you can actually record a new performance right away. In minutes, you could actually break up some of the classic production pipelines that exist with animation. And then at the end, I really like the horse again, bringing it up again. It's just kind of weird. I like weird. And I also like in German it actually works a little bit better. It says films with character. I think in German it works a little bit better. Basically it says it's all about characters, because Character Animator, and you can create it like however you want because it's illustrated. But also we can actually go write something unique, authentic, which also gives everything character. And that's actually what this means. I don't know if that was clear in English. In German it makes a lot of sense. Sounds right to me, so maybe you can tell me in the comments. So thanks for watching. Yeah, if you like this video, please give me a like, and if you in general want to see more of my content, please subscribe. As I said, I'm working on a workflow tutorial, so that might be the next thing I put out, but it might take me a while. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
When you're lost, take your trust. Yeah,